Yo, what's the motherfucking deal, YouTube? This your boy Coach Donte, and I got my boy EJ right here on the right side of the screen. This is the AFC South division breakdown for the NFL draft coming up. EJ, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. I think some of the AFC South teams, man, they had some really good drafts here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they're taking steps in the right direction, man.
Yep, I feel you, man. I'm feel you. We are on the Spotlight Sports Network, man. So shout out to my boy EJ. First collaboration. Y'all already know Texans fan right here, Colts fan. We see each other 2 times a year. So what a better way to kick it off, man, with the AFC South, man. We gonna try to put more of these together during the season, preseason, give an update on our teams, and we got Key and Burn in the building. So what you feel? How you feel about the Colts, man? How do you feel about the Colts? You know, y'all traded Carson Wentz this offseason.
Thank God.
Y'all got Jonathan Taylor, the workhorse over there, before he was put to a stop by Jacksonville the last game of the season. How do you feel about the overall team right now, and how do you feel about this draft?
I mean, last year, man, last year was it hurt on the last year. I mean, you lose the last game, and even though they won the last game, they still got the first overall pick. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it hurt. But I think that Jim Irsay, man, and this front office, man, they looked at the team and they were like, hey, we got to change directions here. Carson Wentz just wasn't that guy. I mean, he like half his games. I mean, he had like what below 200 passing yards. That just won't do. I mean, we got to have like the Colts have to have games where Jonathan Taylor can't, have more than like 16, rushing attempts. I mean, running backs, I mean, they just don't last as long in the league if they're just run down. So we needed to have a quarterback that was
Mm-hmm.
able to throw the ball. And I like how, it was very late, but they got Matt Ryan. And I mean, even though he's older and, we've had old Philip Rivers, I'm still happy because this is a leader and this is a guy who can, just take this team in the right direction. And I love it. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I just love where we went in our draft, and with our first couple picks, we addressed the offense and our needs, and
Yep.
with wide receiver, tight end, O line, this is what I love. So I loved how we addressed it coming in.
Oh, I definitely, man. Matt Ryan is that leader. He's also went to a Super Bowl. He's also MVP, so he does know what it takes to get over that hump, and he knows how to win ball games. So, like when I was thinking, when I watched the Indianapolis Colts, and all anybody can ever think about is how dominant Jonathan Taylor was. Wisconsin, he was dominant, and I believe his second year he put himself on notice. Probably his first year I thought he had a good rookie season. So when you look at Jonathan Taylor run the football, what do you think of Jonathan Taylor when you see Jonathan Taylor catching out of the backfield, being as dominant and explosive as he is? What do you look at? What kind of player are we recognizing in the near future of Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, I think he's the second best running back in the league behind Derrick Henry. I mean, this guy just knows how to run the ball. He knows how to find the hole. And I know everyone's going to be like, well, the Colts have a top tier offensive line. Well, we've had some injuries this past season. And when players have been out, Jonathan Taylor still is able to make plays. He's still able to rush over 100 rushing yards. And I think this is a guy who can do it all. He can rush the ball. He can catch in the backfield. I mean, I think Matt Ryan's going to love the player that Jonathan Taylor is. He's going to be a go-to. I mean, I think he can do it all, and he's one of the best running backs in the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that 1000%. Derrick Henry is up here. Jonathan Taylor is inching a little close to him, but he's still down below Derrick Henry when he's healthy. But the guy made a name for himself. Been watching the guy since Wisconsin. So you guys end up drafting Alec Pierce, who I like out of Cincinnati. He's tall. He runs a 4.3 speed. What do you think about Alec Pierce? And have you heard about him? What have you heard about
I mean, Alec Pierce, like I said, he's tall. He's going to go after them 50-50 balls. I mean,
him? Mm-hmm.
coming in, I think that, he's going to be a good target for Matt Ryan to work with and stuff like that. He's going to be a nice deep zone threat coming in. I mean, when you look at this team, I mean, who did the Colts get as a wide receiver coach? They brought in one of the best wide receivers they've ever had in Reggie Wayne to coach him up. And I
Yep.
think Reggie had a big say in who the Colts were able to pick. And
Yep.
I think Alec Pierce is going to be that guy. I
Yep.
mean, the Colts have had injuries. these last couple of seasons has been Michael Pittman Jr., he's a stud, but he's been like our only go-to. I think Alec Pierce is going to be a guy who's going to be a good target for Matt Ryan. He's going to get 50-50 balls. He's going to be a nice deep zone threat. So, I mean, this is what the Colts needed. They needed another target to try to take away them double teams away from Michael Pittman Jr.
Yep.
So I think he's going to be a good target coming in. I think that, with people, I saw a lot of people complaining on, social media that, hey, Sky Moore was available and stuff like that, and they shouldn't have traded back. But I think that, hey, I think they got, Reggie Wayne gave his advice, and I think that maybe he liked Alec Pierce coming in. So I'm going to, trust in what, him and Ballard, because Ballard has found gems in the second round. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Pittman Jr., Darius Leonard, Braden Smith. So I feel like this is another gem that we're going to have here.
Yeah, and as for me, as a Texan fan, I kind of like this is most happiest Texan fan base that we ever had in life. Imagine me got to walk up out of the draft with five potential playmakers. Everybody picks that everybody kind of wanted. Everybody wanted. I mean, you look at Jalen Petrie, who was all Big 12 on the defensive side of the ball, and at the safety position, play in the box, has 4.4 speed, can tackle. His coverage skill lacks a little bit, but he's going to get better at that. But if you want someone that can guard tight ends, Jalen Petrie is one of them. And this guy's just a monster. He's just a flat-out dog. And I liked his interviews and stuff with the Houston Texans. He seemed motivated. He seems ready to play. And plus, he's from Houston, and Texans getting everybody. Seems like they know each other. They're from Houston. And plus, you got the best DB in the draft. You get the best cornerback in the draft, and Derek Stingley Jr. You look at that guy 2019 tape. That's probably some of the best tape you will see out of a cornerback ever. Probably so. This guy playing, he knows what it's like to play competition. He plays it all the time in the SEC conference against top-ready NFL wide receivers. And plus, I mean, the guy is a man-to-man corner, and Lovie Smith loves playing man-to-man, and that's what we do. We love playing man-to-man. I know Sauce was very good, guys. We know Sauce was very, very good. He played a lot of zone coverage as well, while Derek Stingley plays man-to-man. That's all they do at LSU. And then you get a Christian Harris out of Alabama, a linebacker who's 4.4 speed, a fast linebacker. He can cover a little bit better, but I compare him to Zach Cunningham 2.0. Zach Cunningham could not cover worth the damn. He could not cover anybody. He can tackle now. He can come up and make a play on you. But I think Christian Harris does better at that coverage skills and tackling. As far as tackling, he about the same. And then we go out and we get a Damian Pierce, the running back, who's going to start, probably be on the field day one, big, small. I kind of like his motivation. When he first interviewed, they told him, "What do you know about Houston?" He said, "I don't know too much about Houston. I just know they got some pretty girls in the sun, and they got some beautiful." That's what he came out and said. I was like, when I watched this kid interview, I like that, man. I like the motivation. I mean, I just like everything that the Texans did at this draft. We got 5 players on the offensive side of the ball and 4 on defense. And all of the picks that was on defense, Lovie Smith had a say-so in those defense. Like you said, you would trust Reggie Wayne. I would trust Lovie Smith because he's been in the Super Bowl. I mean, he played Reggie Wayne in the Super Bowl. He's been in the Super Bowl. The next year, he went to NFC Championship before Jay Cutler checked out on him pretty much on the bike. He did check out on him. Then he got fired after the 10-6 season. So he knows how to coach defense. He coaches turnover. And like you said, look, I mean, hey, Reggie Wayne has an impact on who he wants at a receiver. He knows what a great receiver is when he sees him, and Lovie Smith knows great defensive players when he sees them. So good job by Nick Caserio listening to Lovie Smith and knows what he wants. But in Kenyon Green on the offensive line, something we addressed it in that interior line. So I like that this Texans draft, man.
Yeah, I love the Texans draft. I mean, you want to. I like it when a front office and the coach can just go hand in hand and just draft well together. I mean, secondary. I think your secondary is going to look pretty strong in the next couple of years. I mean, getting Derek Stingley Jr. now with a couple of injuries he's had in these last couple of years. I mean, hopefully he's going to be good to go and stuff like that. And getting Petrie and stuff like that, that's going to be scary. And I love that they went and got out Michi, man. I think he's going to be a nice target for Davis Mills. I mean, I mean, dude, if he wasn't injured, like you said during our draft party or whatever, if he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't injured, he'd probably be another first round pick. I
Yep.
mean, wide receivers are just flying left and right. This is a strong class, and I think this is a steal for the Texans coming in.
Yep.
Just when he's
Every
able to come back, I mean, it's going to be a great target to go alongside Brandon Cooks. I mean, hey,
mm-hmm.
this team is just built, through the draft. They built well, and I love how I'm a big proponent of getting offensive linemen, especially in the first
Yep.
round, just to build your own line. Especially, how my Colts didn't build around Andrew Luck. So I don't know, it just hurts, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love to see it, man.
Yeah, I love to see it as well, man. But I mean, again, like you said, I forgot about John Mechie. John Mechie, who would have been a top 20 pick if he didn't get Taz ACL up in the SEC championship game. I mean, he was probably the best receiver on Alabama besides Jamison Williams before the Lions went up and traded for him and got him. But again, the guy can make plays, man. The guy can get wide open. He's got good footwork. And I mean, hey, man, I just love the way the two teams draft. And your tight end, like a tight end for Virginia, I know you weren't too happy about the pick, but I think that guy is gonna be pretty solid for you, man. 6'7". Jelani, I forgot Jelani Woods, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jelani Woods.
yeah.
I mean, I like him as a pick and stuff like
Okay.
that because, at the time, Bernhard Raymond was still there. I'm just like, we have to go and get the O lineman, please. I was begging for it. We
Yeah.
ended up getting him, but I mean, I think that hey, Chris Ballard. I mean, he's going to strengthen our run game, especially since we got two tight ends. Maybe Jelani Woods is going to be a nice run blocker coming in. He's also going to go be a nice red zone threat because hey, the Colts need some red zone threats. Okay, this is what we've needed, and I'm glad. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm glad we got Jelani Woods and stuff like that, and we got a second tight end in the draft. Which I mean, I kind of wanted us to get another wide receiver, just another target, because
Yeah.
this wide receiver room is kind of lacking, especially with the injuries.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So again, you guys last year, I believe before you guys lost that game against Jacksonville. I know that was a horrific game right there. That's the game that would have put you guys in the playoffs for sure. I mean, what give me if it's any momentum game that you thought that you knew, just saying that you knew this team wasn't going to make the playoffs even before the loss to Jacksonville. Give me the biggest loss before the Jacksonville game. Prior to that, give me a moment that you knew your guys still was I'm not confident in this team that we're beating Jacksonville. Give me a moment that you feel that y'all gonna have a hard time getting into the playoffs.
I think that when you're coming in and it's like win and you're in, and we had two opportunities for that, and before that we played the Oakland Raiders at home, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like when you have a win in your end game and you're at home,
Yep.
you have to win that. You can't take it up to chance just for just to be
Mm-hmm.
stunned like that. And I mean, I think they just dropped the ball. I mean, Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz had COVID but prior to that,
Yep.
and they played him through that. I think honestly they should have just probably rested him for that and
Mm-hmm.
just let him play the next game and subbed in our rookie quarterback. But not taking care of business at home when you have to. If you're that team and it's a win in your end game, you have to win that game. There's just nothing you can say about it. And I know that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the worst team, but like the history between these last couple of seasons, when we just go into Jacksonville and we just lose every game. I mean, it's not pretty, and it's just that's just like I just mark that game like whenever we play at Jacksonville. I just mark it as a loss. It just happens. Like I just pray that they give us like the first game because I
Yeah.
just pray, man.
I mean that was a shocking loss right there. We didn't feel what like I didn't know that stat was really true. Y'all have not beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. I did not know that at all. I even with Peyton Manning, y'all still haven't beat them in Jacksonville. So I like that's a stat I really didn't know that at all. But you're right. You got to win most of those games. You got to win those games at home, especially favorable matchups. I mean, but then again, those teams that's under 500, like the Indian, like the no Jaguars, the Texans, and stuff like that. They still got things to play for. They not gonna come down and lay down to you. So you got to be coming out and ready to play. Just like the game against the Chargers, we beat the Chargers. We stopped them for literally making the playoffs. We were the reason why they were actually out of the playoff picture when the Raiders beat them, because again, they had 20 guys out on COVID. But again, you still had Justin Herbert. You still had every receiver out there. You still had all your playmakers out there. So it's no excuse to get beat by over damn near 20 points against the Houston Texans in NRG Stadium. I just thought that was the game that Davis Mills showed off right there. He also showed off in a couple of other games as well. So I feel pretty confident about the quarterback for the Texans, Davis Mills. Now I don't know if he's the future of this team. I don't know if that for sure, but he did have a pretty good breakout season. And he only played 10 games. He only played 10 games, the second best passer rating in the out of all rookies, the second best QBR out of all rookies, second best touchdowns out of all rookies, because Matt Jones played a whole season. Davis Mills did not play a whole season that year. So again, he only played 10 games. So again, Davis Mills, I think he's got a lot of upside on him, and I can't wait to see him in season 2 this year.
I mean, the Houston Texans, their future's looking bright. I mean, that Deshaun Watson trade. I mean, you got picks galore for the next couple of seasons to go. So I mean, even if it doesn't work out, I mean, hey, you could trade some of them picks and get the quarterback you want. I mean, I'm sure like the next couple of years there's going to be a nice draft, and hey, you might be able to get one. So the future's looking bright for Houston Texans.
Yeah, man, and we got now. By the way, we do got Jacksonville in our division as well. We can say they overpaid for Christian Kirk. Everybody can say they overpaid for Christian Kirk, a slot receiver. They got Javon Walker. They did get Javon Walker number 1. I pretty much figured he was going to go number 1 the last couple of days when I was hearing those rumors, and then through the draft process, the day of the draft, he was going number 1. What did you think about it? What did you think about him going number 1? Did you think it was an okay move?
I mean, I was certainly surprised by it. I mean, I thought Aiden Hutchinson should have won number 1, because I thought Aiden Hutchinson had the stud of the season. But I mean, Trayvon Walker, I mean, coming in, and hopefully, he can come in and be the sack beast that the Jaguars need. They need someone to line up right beside Josh Allen. I mean, if Trayvon Walker is able to be that pass rusher, I mean, Saxonville's back.
Yep.
And it's honestly going to be scary. I mean, these defenses in the AFC South are looking scary, and this guy can pan out for them. So he needs to learn some new pass rushing moves. But if he can, pair alongside them, I mean, this is going to be a scary defense, I think, coming in.
Yep. And a lot of people is valuing us as the worst division in football. We did lose AJ Brown, so you've been hearing a lot. People is bashing us as the worst division in football, but when you actually look at it, the defense is pretty solid in the AFC South. When you look at it, I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Colts are going to be pushovers. I think if this is the year they have to win in the division, this is the year they got to capitalize. You got no AJ Brown in Tennessee. They replaced him with Traylon Burks. Yes, they got a Robert Woods. Yes, they got a Derrick Henry over there, which is nobody in the NFL is be able to stop. So if he does come up with a game plan to stop him, eventually in that game he's gonna get off. It's gonna be one big run he's gonna rip off, and he's getting started. So as the AFC South as a whole, do you feel like the division is almost that weak? Do you feel like the division cannot? Is it a such thing? This division cannot compete with any other division in the National Football League?
I mean, I look at us as a division right now. I mean, as these 4 teams, if we get into the playoffs, are we able to go on the road and be able to get a win? I mean, we haven't done that in a while since since the the Tennessee Titans were able to go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots. I mean, yep. I don't think we're at that level where we're able to just say, hey, we can go into somebody else's stadium who has has home field advantage and just go there and beat them. I mean, the Colts haven't been able to do that, man. So I mean, yep. I don't think we're there, but I think we're trending in the right direction, especially with these drafts and stuff like that. So I think we're getting there, but we're not there at this point.
Yeah, I like the last 2 times. I think the Tennessee Titans got wins against top-notch seeds. They beat the Baltimore Ravens when Baltimore were like 14-2, I believe. They beat the Baltimore Ravens on the road. They end up beating the Patriots. That's Tom Brady last game in New England. They do end up beating them. before they end up losing against Cincinnati in the first round when they was the first number one overall seed. But do you still feel like Tennessee can make a playoff push, can make just get in the playoffs and win this division?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, with Derrick Henry being back, and if Derrick Henry is healthy and 100%, I mean, this is the team to beat. I mean, I think that when it's a run attack, I mean, Tennessee, they're just unstoppable. I mean, this is a Giannis of the football, like the NFL. This is the Shaq of the NFL. I mean, like, look, teams are going to have to commit to stacking the box and try to stop Derrick Henry, and they're just going to have to like commit so many people to try to stop him. So, I mean, if Ryan Tannehill can at least, I think Ryan Tannehill's fool's gold. I mean, I think he's like overhyped. I don't think
Yeah,
he's that guy. But I mean, as long as Ryan Tannehill's be able to make some throws, especially with this new wide receiver, I mean, Tennessee's a team to beat. And I think that if Derrick Henry's 100%, they could probably go on the road and beat someone. It just depends. I mean, if Derrick Henry can show up in the playoffs, so.
yep. Yep, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I don't sleep on Tennessee, even not one bit. Even if the team did lose AJ Brown who went to Philadelphia, like, I mean, thank God he's a part of our division. We don't
Yes,
see him twice a year.
thank you,
We
Howie.
still gotta play him this year, knowing that's they're on our schedule, so we still see him. But that's a big difference instead of seeing them two times and seeing them kind of one time this year. So again, I mean, so we got OTAs coming up soon. We do got OTAs coming up soon. Then you already know we got training camp and preseason. We don't know the full roster already, but what do you expect from this Coast team by when the schedule come out? How many games you expect the Coast to win by seeing the schedule? We know who we're playing. We just don't know the time. We just don't know what the dates we're playing them at. We know who we're playing on the schedule. But give me how many games you think you guys can pull off and win?
I think the Colts can win at least 10 or 11 games coming into. Now we play the AFC West, which that
Oh
division
yeah.
is stacked. We could
Oh man.
easily we could easily go 0-4 against them, or if
Each
we're
team,
lucky,
yeah.
one win. So
Yeah.
I think that this is at least a 10-11 team that can come in. It's just can they take care of business? The NFC East, I mean, you got the Cowboys. Got the Cowboys. So I mean, this is easily a 10-11 team coming in.
Yeah, easily. I believe like the AFC West is the toughest division in football now. Tell the toughest. You remember last year the NFC West was the toughest division in football last year. Now the NFC West is weakened. Now the AFC West. We see the AFC West, and I know every team in our division go 0-4 against that division right there. Now you look at the Cowboys. They're weakened now, but they still can beat any team in the AFC, in the NFC, in the AFC South. They still can kind of probably beating any one of us. I think y'all got you and Tennessee got the better shot to beat those guys. Eagles are more stronger now. They can beat anybody in the NFC, in the AFC South. The Commanders, I don't know about that. I don't know if they can beat anybody in our division. Then you got the Giants, who's going to get better. It depends on their quarterback situation is the key. I think their quarterback situation. I don't think they can beat anybody in the AFC South. And I think we got the Browns this year. We play the Browns. I know the Texans play the Browns this year. We see. It just depends on where we see them. If Deshaun Watson plays, depends on when we see them. But again, the schedule for you guys, I think you guys can pull off at least 10 or 11 wins. At least 10 wins can at least get you the division when you're the division's crown.
Yep, especially I think this could be a three-way three-way race. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know about the Jaguars, man.
No,
I don't know about them. I think
that's what I
that the
said.
Texans could surprise us this year, but I don't know about the Jaguars. And if Trevor Lawrence can get away from that, I mean, if he has another bad season, I mean, he's gonna get the bust.
Yep. Like again, we was going like I was with my homeboy AK channel last night. We was going through every division, and they saying who do you got? What place you got the Texans? I say I got us in third because I don't trust Jacksonville at all. Even though they did sign Christian Kirk, they did go out there and get some wide receivers. But I just cannot trust in Jacksonville. I just cannot trust in them. I still will take Tennessee. over Jacksonville. I still will take Indianapolis over Jacksonville. And the Texans are gonna find a way to beat Jacksonville. They do that every single season, except one season. They're gonna find a way to beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, unfortunately, we're gonna have to split with them just because we're just cursing Jacksonville. I don't know how. Why. Make it the first game and just get it over with. We always go 0-1 to like start every season. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my goodness, man. That's crazy. That's hard. That's hard. So again, how do you I think you guys lost y'all second cornerback. That second cornerback over there. What's his name? He went to the Raiders, I believe.
Rock Sin.
And then did y'all pick up what corner did y'all pick up? Casey Hayward?
No, we didn't. We picked up I'm forgetting his name. He's the defensive player of the year. Sorry.
I know y'all lost Rock Sin to the Raiders. I think he got traded over there.
Yeah, he got traded for Yannick Ngakoue, dude. Like, here's how I feel about Rock Sin. I mean,
go ahead.
He's probably a physical corner, but that man just gets beat often. And when he gets beat, he just holds on for dear life to their jersey, man. It's crazy.
Well, you got the Raiders fans think he can become a shutdown corner. In your opinion, you watch him. You watch him. The Raiders haven't seen him actually yet. They saying he can be a shutdown corner. He can be straight. What have you seen in Rock Sin? You watched him. What have you seen in him? Do you think he can be a shutdown corner as the Raiders fans prospecting? What do you see in Rock Sin?
I mean, I think he'd be a physical corner, but I think that just too many times when he's against like good wide receivers, he just gets beat. I mean, they just get him with a good move, and then they just burn by him. And once he gets burned, this man just holds on for dear life. I mean, sometimes he get them holding calls once he's holding on to them jerseys. So I mean, hey, I think that was a good trade for the Colts getting Ngakoue and getting our D line stacked up, especially since we got some more depth during the draft. I mean, I think this D line is going to look like is ready to take on Derrick Henry, man. But man, I'm glad, man. We got Stephon Gilmore coming in.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. That thing was just
yep. That's who y'all got. So that's who y'all got in replace of Rock Sin. I like that move.
And we got McLeod too. So
yep.
Our secondary was a big thing because our secondary was just oof. But now it's looking pretty good.
So that's good. Y'all replace Rock Sin with Gilmore. So that's pretty solid. Your other corner that I really high on, I believe he did make the Pro Bowl last year. Y'all had 7 Pro Bowlers. That's hard to believe. 7 Pro Bowlers and then make the playoffs last year. That's kind of tough right there. But Kenny Moore, how good is Kenny Moore is?
I mean, Kenny Moore, he's a good cover corner. Kenny Moore, this man just is a playmaker. I mean, he can obviously he can cover guys. He gets interceptions too. I mean, especially like 2 seasons ago, that one-handed catch against the Raiders. I mean, this guy can cover well, and he's just a great player for the Colts. Man, I'm glad we got Kenny Moore. But I mean, I think this defense is going to come together coming up this year, and that sometimes they just have a game where they just fall off. I mean, we did it against the Pittsburgh Steelers when we were up like 3 touchdowns, and then they just got nailed by Big Ben. Especially last year against Jacksonville when they just fell apart when they didn't when you're not supposed to. I mean, I think with Stephon Gilmore coming in, maybe this could be another presence coming in, and this defense just won't fall apart at the moment when they need to shine. So yeah. I'm glad.
I definitely agree with you on that, man. Again, I like the Stephon Gilmore, the signing. He's a quiet shutdown cornerback, man. Really liked him. Got a nice little height on him. About 6'2", I believe. About 6'2", 6'1", I believe. Kenny Moore, I'm very high on him. Thought he was an underrated cornerback that nobody mentioned. I believe we had a segment about that last year on the Coach's Corner with Spotlight them. I mentioned Kenny Moore. Somebody stole my pick, but I had Kenny Moore right there, and I said he's an underrated cornerback. That guy can cover. And you guys got a stacked, pretty good defensive line. And Ngakoue, a lot of people say he struggles against the run. And everybody from the Raider Nation knows that he probably do. You guys still got Eric Armstead, right? You guys still got Armstead, or y'all lost him?
Oh no, we don't have Armstead. We have DeForest Buckner.
Oh, okay, that's DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner, right there. I like him. And you guys got that leader, and you guys got that thumper in that middle. I think he was playing through injuries last year. Darius Leonard.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
go ahead.
oh, sorry. I mean, Darius Leonard, he's a beast. He's a tackle machine. He's an interception machine. He just does it all, and he's a big leader for this team alongside Buckner. I mean, shoot. I mean, this team has leaders and stuff like that, but I mean, they just don't need to fall apart at the wrong time. So I mean, I can't wait to see this defense. Are they a top 10 defense? I want to see that this year, especially since they're going against the AFC West. That's really going to be a big
Yep.
test for this team.
That boy Burns said y'all act like Jaguars don't have new coaching staff. I mean, just us. We not trusting Jack. I just can't trust them, dude. I know Christian Kirk looks sexy. I know those are sexy picks that y'all picked up, and you even admit they overpaid for them. But new coaching staff and all. Hey man, I can't trust the Jacksonville. I just can't put them. I just can't trust them. I think about Texans, you already know. Each and every year we find them. We gonna just find a way to beat you guys at some point of the season. If it don't happen this year, it don't. I think the Colts are still better than you. I still think the Colts is still better, a better team. Even though y'all may split with them, But again, man, I just not can't trust Jacksonville at this point. Uh, we'll see. We'll see later during the season. I just can't put trust in Jacksonville. Y'all got had one good season, and after that, everything else just fell apart. Just fell apart right after that. But I can't trust Jacksonville, new coaching staff or not. I just cannot trust Jacksonville at this point. I gotta see it to believe it on the field. On the field, I gotta see it to believe it on the field.
Yeah, and I think it just comes from the top. I mean, remember when they had Urban Meyer and then they had him on AEW and stuff like that? I'm like, what is
Yeah,
this man doing on AEW? I mean, this is your coach. And, obviously he had a lot of, off the field stuff that shouldn't have been there. So, I mean, I think it starts with the top. I mean, I don't know why you keep Trent Balk. I mean, this
he wish they
front
could fire him. Yep.
Yep,
Go ahead.
this front office they haven't been able to draft. Remember when they got C.J. Henderson, the quarterback with the 9th overall pick, and then a
Yep.
year later he just gone. I mean, what are you guys doing?
I mean, they every draft pick that they have, they gone within the next year. They gone within the last couple of years. Jalen Ramsey was gone. He was frustrated. Agakwe, he left. They did get who did they got? They got Malik Jackson, who came from a Super Bowl team that first year when they went to the AFC Championship. He was gone the very next season. They just threw the team apart. AJ Boye, I remember AJ Boye and what you call it from the Houston Texans. That was the top. That was the top secondary, number one secondary in Houston. They were shutting down everybody. AJ Boye was coming in right into his own with Houston. He left. He departed. One good year after that, he fell apart. I haven't heard no more AJ Boye. AJ Boye was the best AJ Boye in Houston. He was coming into his own. He didn't want to stay with Houston. He wanted to go somewhere else. But hey, I mean, hey man, I just Jacksonville, the organization, man. Something wrong with the organization.
Oh, Tom Coughlin. Yes, Tom. I do agree. Tom Coughlin did tear that team apart with his,
Yep.
his old head rules.
Yep. And Bill O'Brien tore our team apart. Bill O'Brien did exactly what Tom Coughlin did. Tore our team apart. He traded DeAndre Hopkins, but he trades DeAndre Hopkins away. He gets a Laramie Tunsil for too much. He gets Laramie Tunsil for probably a little bit too much. And the Texans this year they had to restructure his contract. But the best thing, this is the icing on the cake. You get DeAndre Hopkins, but you really get him for nothing. You get him from beat up David Johnson, which you could have got a couple of first round picks for the best receiver in the game, which means him and his altercation was so damn bad that you just want to get rid of him. You just want to get rid of him and not decide not to get anything back. Then you go for Will Fuller leaves. We lied to Deshaun Watson. Don't want him a part of the offseason duties. Well, don't want him a part of the offseason duties. Now he's frustrated. He wants to leave. Will Fuller leaves right after Deshaun Watson. Bill O'Brien, the same way. He took his team apart as well. I thought he should have been focusing on being a head coach, not a GM. He was an okay head coach. He wasn't terrible. He was okay. When he focused coaching and not play calling, he was bad as a play caller. Bill O'Brien just had too much power. That's what it all came down to. Just like Tom Coughlin. We just had too much power in our management group. That's all we had.
Yep, and the same could be with Ryan Gregson, who just man, we should have had some great years with Andrew Luck, but it's just we just didn't protect that man. I mean, we traded a pick away for Trent Richardson. We just went after all the superstars who were past their prime and stuff like that instead of just building the O line the right way and he should have had a longer career, but it is what it is.
Yep. So y'all guys had Marlon Mack. Y'all guys did have Marlon Mack, a part of the organization. Now he's with Houston. Tell me a little more that I should know about Marlon Mack when he's on the field. Was he a bad player, or was it just Naheem Hines or Jonathan Taylor, basically just with better running backs that he was? Tell me a little more. What I'm getting as a Texan fan out of Marlon Mack.
I mean, I think Marlon Mack's a good running back. I mean, he especially behind this O line. I mean, he was able to run the ball well. He found the holes well, but his one big detractor was he got hurt a lot. So I mean, that just opened up for Jonathan Taylor. I mean, this is a good quality starting back. I mean, I think you're going to get a good contract on him and stuff like that. So you're not going. So I mean, it's going to be a good team friendly contract. So I mean, this is a good starting running back that I think that's going to help Davis Mills out a lot, especially again with this O line. I mean, I think this O line is going to be really good coming up. So I mean, I think this is a good pickup for y'all. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
surprised. I'm surprised we just didn't trade him away. But hey, they're player friendly here at the Colts. So now we're just gonna have to play him 2 times a year. So I mean, look out for him. I mean, that last playoff game where we went into Houston. I mean, this guy he had a game. So I mean, you're gonna hear a lot of return of the Mac coming up.
yeah. I like Marlon Mack. I wanted to get your thoughts on him. You've seen him more than I've seen him, pretty much. But again, he looks like he's an effective runner. I think he had a 900-yard season with you guys and 1,000-yard receiving, 9,000-yard rushing, 900-yard rushing season, and 1,000-yard rushing season with you guys. I believe he put together two good seasons before he ended up getting hurt. So again, the receiving core, you guys got Michael Pittman Jr. He's look like he's something special. How dangerous do you see improvement from this offense of side of the ball?
Um, Again, like we just like Michael Pittman Jr. I think he took another step last year and got over 1,000 receiving yards. He's able to go after the 50-50 balls. He's good and strong, so he helps. This man really helps out in the running game. He's not afraid to like go out and block somebody who's bigger than him. So I mean, this guy he's willing to block. He can catch really well. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, like we need like you know we just need less injuries on the team. I feel bad for Paris Campbell. I mean, this guy was supposed to be paired up alongside him, but he gets hurt a lot, and that was supposed to be a deep zone threat coming in. And then T.Y. Hilton, I mean, Ty just been hurt these last couple of years, so I mean, I think we're going to get some improvement coming in. I mean, with Alec Pierce coming in, Jelani Woods. I mean, I hope that with the tight end, it's going to help the run game, but I hope he's able to get some catches as well coming in.
Yeah, I like the Jelani Woods and Alec Pierce, but you guys did lose Zach Pascal
Oh yeah.
to the Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia Eagles, key. We got Philadelphia Eagles fans a part of our network, so let them know what they're getting out of Zach Pascal, what they're getting out of Zach.
Oh yeah, I mean he runs routes really well. He's able to catch the ball really well. I mean, this man when T.Y. Hilton was out, I mean this man led the Colts in receiving yards that in one season. I mean, this guy's just gonna be a consistent guy. I know that more of the targets going to go to Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, but this is gonna be a nice third target coming in for the Eagles. So, I mean, I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles. And one more thing before we get up out of here, guys. Shout out to everybody for that support us today. We're gonna try to bring more of these AFC South previews during the season and during the preseason and all of that. But T.Y. Hilton, when he was healthy, T.Y. Hilton is the main guy I wish I could jump through the TV and slap in the face. Because when it comes to Houston, he has games against the Houston Texans. But anybody else, You don't pretty much know what T.Y. Hill you get him, but it's just that one. It's got to just be the one team you play that fuels you the most. How good was T.Y. Hill when healthy? How good was T.Y. Hilton actually was?
Oh man, this guy, he was a monster. He was a speed demon coming out. He ran them routes really well, and him and Andrew Luck were just such a great duo coming in. I mean, this man, every time he played against the Houston Texans, I mean, this man would just put 150 yards, 200 yards. I mean, this man was just a monster. I mean, coming in, and it's just over the couple years. I mean, he's been hurt, but this man, he still has one of those games where he just takes over. He's able he's able to get over 100 yards. But this man was a monster, and he's a very underrated receiver. I mean, we forget he led the league in receiving yards 1 year. So I mean, this guy is it. He was, but I mean, hopefully, he's able to put some games together this year for the Colts.
Man, yeah, man. I mean, it was good doing this show with you, man. Hope we can do pretty much more with this show, the AFC side. We're gonna try to come get some special guests on with us for Jaguars and Tennessee, and we can need to get a Jaguars in here. We gotta keep this show going and talk more about the AFC South in the preseason and in the regular season, man. So tell the people where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, you can find me at EJ Bryan on YouTube and on EJ Bryan with 2 N's on Twitter. But yeah, man, I think that this division in the next couple of years is going to be scary. Yeah, I think that's going to be all 4 teams coming in. So, hey, I'm excited to do this content, man. I think the AFC South doesn't get as much attention as it should.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I know everybody now, since we lost AJ Brown, the AFC South is very weak, but I think it's going to be very competitive. I think we're going to give some teams a fight. We might not make it far in the playoffs, but we're going to give some teams a lot of scare, all 4 teams. We're going to go out there. We're going to compete. We're going to knock some, even when we're not in the playoff hunt, we're going to knock some teams up out of the playoff hunt like we did last year. So, again, I think it can be competitive. I think no AFC South team is going to lay down to any other team. Everybody out there think it's easy to play at AFC South, but this year when we get up on that field lining up, they will see how not easy it's gonna be. So shout out to everybody. This is the AFC South draft review. We will bring more of these AFC South shows on during the preseason, training camp, regular season. Me and EJ will be doing it all. We're gonna try to get a couple special guests if we could up on here, but it's been fun doing this with my brother EJ. This is Coach Donte from the Spotlight Sports Network and EJ from the Spotlight Sports Network saying so long, guys. We up out of here, guys.
Thank you so much.
I heard they want the news. Well, we got it just for you. What's your team? Who your player? Who your crew? I heard they want the news. The spotlight is on you, and if you in the hot seat, it's times 2. I heard they want the news. Come tune in to the crew, but we got the hook up just like black and blue. I heard they want the news. Spotlight Sports, what it do? Hit subscribe.